Hi guys, Dinohunter here. Welcome back to another video. It's a bit of a different one today. So today we're doing Poisonous versus Venomous. So this is not the most obvious thing if you don't know what it's about. But once you know it, you will definitely know the difference. So let's get into it. So this is the main difference. With poison, it has to be ingested by the victim to harm it. This means that, for example, you will have to swallow it or eat it. Venom has to be injected into the victim to cause damage. So this means that, for example, if a snake bites you, it's then injecting the venom. So, poison is a substance that may be harmful to an organism. It has to be injected by the victim to cause damage. For example, if a frog is poisonous and a snake eats it, the snake will feel the effects of the frog's poison. So the reason that some animals have poison is to make a last-ditch effort for the animal that has eaten it to spit it out. Many poisonous animals get their poison from the animals that they eat. So, for example, this is a poisoned dart frog, and they get their poison from the insects that they eat in the wild. That also means, though, that the ones in the zoos probably are not poisonous. But I wouldn't try to eat a frog, whether it's poisonous or not. It doesn't seem very good for you, especially raw. So, although the vast majority of snakes are venomous, some snakes contain poison. This is the tiger keelback, and it gets its poison from amphibians that it eats in the wild. And this makes it one of the few poisonous snakes. However, this snake also contains venom, which makes it both poisonous and venomous. How cool is that? Next, we're on to venom. So, venom is a substance that is injected by an organism that could be harmful or even deadly to another organism. I think that's pretty obvious. The venom is usually injected by a bite, like when a snake bites you, or by a stinger, like when a bee stings you. There are 3 types of venom, and each has different effects on organisms. The 3 types of venom are often used alongside each other. Most animals don't only have one type of venom, although that can happen. So just keep in mind when we're looking at these examples, most of the animals we're looking at probably don't only have one type of venom. It's probably the venom we're talking about and another one in conjunction. Neurotoxic. Neurotoxic venom is a type of venom that attacks the nervous system. Neurotoxic venom causes your muscles to stop working. Your muscles will shut down one by one, and eventually your diaphragm, which is the muscle that helps you breathe, shuts down. You will then not be able to breathe, and you probably know what happens next. I think it's pretty obvious. This venom tends to act more quickly than other types of venom. So, these 2 infamous snakes both contain neurotoxic venom, and I think just from the pictures we both know what they are. This is the black mamba. Oh my word, I forgot I put the crown. Here's the king cobra. So, black mambas aren't actually black. They're a more grey-brown color. And they get their name from the inside of their mouth being a solid black color. Here's the man with the crown. King cobras aren't actually cobras. They aren't in the Naja family, which contains all the true cobra species. Instead, their closest relatives are snakes such as the mambas, like the one on the left. Next, we're on to hemotoxic venom, and this type of venom often contains an anticoagulant. This means that the blood may lump together very quickly, or it might prevent the blood from clotting at all. That's definitely not healthy for anybody. If you've seen some experiments that the people who are snake milkers do, you'll see definitely that the blood, after they put a drop of venom in it, doesn't look the best. Hemotoxic venom can also affect your cardiovascular system, and many vipers possess hemotoxic venom. So, these are 2 of the vipers that have hemotoxic venom. That on the left is the western diamondback rattlesnake, and on the right is the furdilance. While some think you can tell a rattlesnake's age by counting its tail segments, this is not true, one of the many reptile myths that have been spread. These snakes gain a segment after every shed, and it's not impossible for a segment to fall off. For example, if they get their tail caught between a rock, it's not unlikely that a tail segment will fall off. Then the further lance, and it is responsible for the most bites of any reptile in both the Americas, that's north and south. Most of these bites are probably accidental because the incredible camouflage of this snake causes many people to step on it. I mean, look at that. If you saw this in the leaves, well, I guess you wouldn't see it. Look at the camouflage in that thing, it's just incredible. Next, we're on to the last type of venom, which is cytotoxic. And this affects your tissues and cells. And this venom is not as deadly as the previous two, but the effects are almost worse. So what I mean by this is that you might end up losing digits or limbs because this venom destroys, as we said earlier, tissues and muscles, and there's definitely a possibility that you can die. If you've seen pictures of people's arms and legs after getting bitten by a snake with cytotoxic venom, it's not the best. And so at the bottom, cytotoxic venom is also used in conjunction with another type of venom to cause massive amounts of damage. I mean, just imagine that your cells and tissues are getting damaged and then you're bleeding internally or your nervous system is getting shut down. Doesn't sound like a fun time. So, we've now gone through all the 3 types of venom. Now we're going to look at some cool cases of animals that have venom. So, this is the inland taipan, you can see it at the bottom right. And these have, pound for pound, the most potent venom of any snake in the world. Even though they have such toxic venom, this snake has never been confirmed to kill anybody. Although a lot of deaths from snakes are not confirmed, it's highly unlikely someone's died from an inland taipan, let's just say. And if they have, not many people have died. Let's put it that way. So the taipan has both neurotoxic and hemotoxic venom. Next, we're on to the Komodo dragon, which is the largest lizard on Earth. For a long time, it was believed that the bite of the Komodo dragon infected the wound with so much bacteria that it would be lethal. But we now know that the bite actually contains venom. And then this goes for not only Komodo dragons, but a lot of the Australian monitor species also have now been found to have venom. I know Parenti monitors and lace monitors have been proven to have venom as well. So the Komodo dragon's venom contains an anticoagulant, and it also drops the victim's blood pressure. Regardless if the Komodo dragon is venomous or not, nobody wants to take a bite from this incredible but fearsome creature. And I think that stands for most of the animals on this list. I mean, just taking a bite from those long fangs alone probably wouldn't be the best. And then combined with the venom, yo. Next is the boomslang. Yes, that's how you say it. There's no boomslangs out here in South Africa. The boomslang contains a hemotoxic venom. It has, drop for drop, again, one of the most potent venom of any snake in the world. It can definitely be debated that it has the most potent venom of any African snake. So it's important when you say drop for drop, especially when comparing venom, as snakes like the king cobra venom is very potent, don't get me wrong, but the reason that it's so deadly is they pump the victim with so much venom that it's just not looking good. But when you compare drop for drop, then you can compare which venom is not more dangerous, but more potent. This is one of the more extreme cases of a hemotoxin, as it can cause you to bleed internally and externally, including from your eyes and nose. Now, we're going to look at the most interesting example of a snake's venom being discovered probably ever. So, Carl Patterson Schmidt took a bite from the snake. At the time, the crazy effects of its venom were not known, and he later died due to the snake's venom, as he did not treat it. It was because of his death that the boomslang's deadly venom was discovered. I mean, wow, imagine something we know not being venomous today. Like, for example, a bush snake just turns out to have a very deadly venom. How can you imagine that? Then, we're taking a look at the Gila monster and the Mexican beaded lizard. So these two are very closely related. And before the Komodo dragon and monitor lizards were found to be venomous, these were thought to be some of, if not the only species of venomous lizards. Their venom is not as severe as some snakes, and it's very unlikely you will die if you are bitten. The venom can cause swelling and dizziness, and that's about it. Still though, I recommend getting medical attention, because there's always a possibility you go into anaphylactic shock or anything. So this venom will probably still affect you a little bit, but it's definitely better than being bitten by booms now, just put it that way. Then, cobras that spit venom. On the left, there's the ringulls, and then on the right, there's a Mozambique spitting cobra. Many African and Asian cobras can spit venom. A close relatives of cobras, called the ringulls, can also spit. That's the one in the top left. But the king cobra is not able to spit. So, now we're going to look at how these snakes are actually able to spit. So, snakes deliver their venom via a hole in their teeth that the venom from the venom gland can go through, delivering the venom into the victim that is being bitten. So, spitting cobras have smaller holes instead of the larger ones in the other venomous snakes, and this allows pressure to build up, and it eventually leads to the venom shooting out in the typical cobra style. The Mozambique spitting cobra in the top right is demonstrating that. This venom cannot do any damage if swallowed. It has to get into the bloodstream to be harmful. Yeah, but it can definitely irritate your eyes, and it can even lead to blindness, so definitely wash it out if it gets in your eyes, and try and cover your eyes as much as possible, or if you're working with these snakes, you use eye protection. Next is the platypus, and I think I put it perfectly here. The platypus might be what happens when you submit your first draft instead of your final. So this mammal looks like a beaver with a duck bill. It lays eggs, and weirdest of all, it has a spike that can deliver venom from a venom gland located on its hind legs. I mean, that's just crazy. This venom has effects on your blood and cells. It often causes pain throughout the whole body, and it also can cause nausea. I mean, if you read that description, you'd probably think that's from an insect or from a snake, but no, it's from this little platypus in the bottom right. So, next is the stonefish and lionfish. These two aren't closely related, but I decided that they're similar enough that we can take a look at them in the same slide. The stonefish is widely considered to be the most venomous fish in the world, but the lionfish isn't far off. So, the lionfish is an invasive species, and it disrupts the ecosystem wherever it goes. So, a lot of places where you see lionfish, they're actually invasive, and they disrupt the ecosystem, like I've said. So, where they're native, I'm sure they're not a problem, but everywhere else, they're a big problem. Especially where you have that venom that the lionfish has, it can do some serious damage. The stonefish can survive long periods of time out of water, so it's not uncommon to see them on the rocks of tide pools. While saying that, I think that you wouldn't be able to see them on the rocks because look at that camouflage. It looks exactly like it. Both of these venoms can be extremely painful. The best way to deal with it is to put your hand into hot water, or I should have said whatever part of your body has been stung. But before you try anything, always seek medical attention. And that's one of the most important things you can do, is not try to fix these stings yourself. Always seek medical attention. Next is the bullet ant. In Justin O. Schmidt's original insect pain index, only one insect was in the highest tier, pain level 4, the bullet ant. This venom can cause intense pain, fever, sweats, and nausea. It is widely regarded as the most painful insect sting on Earth, but this sting is not likely to kill you. As always, there's a possibility of you getting killed, and I wouldn't want to take a sting from this ant, whether it could kill you or not. But yeah, it is probably not going to kill you. And with that, it comes to the end of this PowerPoint presentation. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.